hope everyone is having a nice morning. And before I begin, I wanted to make note of the fact that when I was researching all this a week ago last Saturday, sitting down on my couch on my laptop, going the wonderful knowledge of the internet, I just so happened to be watching the old Bill Bixby Incredible Hulk on TV at the same time. Yeah, the irony of the fact that I'm looking up information about grounding while watching someone who desperately needed it. So, grounding. We do it. We do it also here in the ritual. It's also the daily part of our lives. It's the most fundamental technique for both in and out of ritualing. So what is grounding? Grounding is a set of simple strategies detached from emotional pain. For example, drug cravings, self-harm, impulses, anger, sadness. Distraction works by focusing outward on the external world, rather than inward toward the self. You can also think of distraction as centering, a safe place, looking outward, or healthy detachment. So for those of us, I'm kind of curious, how often do you not do grounding? About 25% of the time? Raise your hand.
What do you mean, like just...
Meaning like if there was a time you should have been grounding and for whatever reason you didn't.
It was a couple of times.
I'm just as guilty.
Over time, I have acquired the knee jerk of, okay, I'm emotionally freaking out.
Yeah. I have more of the Jarvis. You were down to 13% going on.
Yeah, I will admit, and some of them have told me too that I've done some of my little magic spells and I'll be exhausted. They said, "Did you ground?" And I said, "No." And I said, "You should have been grounding." So why do grounding? Well, when you're overwhelmed and emotional pain, like you mentioned, you need a way to detach so that you can gain control over your feelings and stay safe. As long as you're grounding, you cannot possibly use substances or hurt yourself. Grounding, of course, true to the name, anchors you to the present and to the reality. Many people with PTSD and substance abuse struggle with either feeling too much, overwhelming emotions and memories, or too little, numbing and dissociation. In grounding, you attain balance between the two, conscious of the reality and able to tolerate it. Of course, with grounding, there's of course centering, and then the two go hand in hand. Centering refers to your mental and physical state. Centering means to calm your emotions and slow your mind and breathing to the point where you can feel a lot of going on and around and inside you. It's like a state of alertness, but in reality, you're relaxed at the same time. It's described full as mindfulness, bliss, as they would also say it. Ritual experiences both psychic and psychological, which means the grounds and center exercises must be attained at both levels. The tree exercise, much like what we do, focuses on your mind and on a concrete image, then guides your psychic into a grounded and centered state. The image of the tree evokes feelings of stability and connectedness with the earth. When these feelings and images are focused upon, the associated and psychic state that falls right along. It might take some practice, but with diligence, I'm sure that you'll ground and center well enough. And already, of course. Being grounded means you have an established firm connection with the physical world. The largest physical object with each of us experiences throughout the entire life was beneath our feet, the earth. Focusing on the earth makes us more aware of the physical world that surrounds us. Awareness of the physical world keeps us from being swept away by the substance feelings and the inner experiences of the moment. Instead, we become available to experience these feelings with a balanced awareness that's both objective and subjective. Page 2. Turn page. Physically, a firm connection with the earth hook us for the largest psychic battery that has available to us. The earth is a storehouse of the psychic energy, and will we connect with her. We channel that energy to us instead of relying solely on our energy reserves. Grounding properly helps us prevent weakness, headaches, and the possible side effects of energy work. Best way to example this? Cell phone. Grounding is the AC adapter. Because if you do spell work without that AC adapter, you're relying on your own battery and, well, you get worn out. Good example I had once. I came home from Grand Forks one day, and my dear mentor and High Priestess Tess needed some healing, so I did I'm good with Chaology candle magic, and so I did a healing candle. But, drive home and plus doing the healing candle magic, about 15 minutes later, I'm passed out on the couch. So that's what kind of happens when you don't ground properly and your batteries just run out. Centering, although linked with grounding, is quite a different thing. Centering involves clearing your mind of outside business and focusing on the task at hand. For rituals and magic to be meaningful and effective, you should not be dwelling on what you had for lunch today or what your plans are tomorrow. Be here now is a phrase that nicely sums up the idea of centering. Another important factor of centering is your awareness of yourself. Becoming aware of the goddess that lies within us all, or God, if you will. This awareness promotes stability, confidence, and a healthy ability to express your will. Physically, centering allows you to work from a stable foundation, helping to keep you from the magically thrown off balance. The Eastern philosophy of Qi is a very good way of explaining the physical aspect of centering. Our physical bodies have the center of gravity that moves and shifts as we move. Likewise, our energy field is the center that corresponds with our center of gravity. This was kind of an interesting note that I found out about. Male and female bodies are shaped different and so have different centers of gravity. The center of gravity for the man is usually between the navel and the base of the sternum, the solar plexus, whereas the center of gravity for the woman is usually between the navel and the pelvis. Focusing your mind on this area brings your awareness to the center of the energy field. This allows you to move more the energy that you have available while standing directly, drawing energy from Mother Earth. There are several good books on increasing the Qi with exercise and that are excellent with working on centering. And if you want to look it up, go over to your local library or go to old Amazon.com. One last thing that needs to be cleared up. Up is the ground and center that is not the same as the trance state. In fact, the two are polar opposites. If you seem to be having trance-like symptoms while trying to ground and center, talk with your teacher, or your high priestess. These symptoms can include dreamlike visions or having a general feeling of being disconnected from your surroundings, as if they weren't real. If ground and center exercises seem to be taking too long, you might be trying too hard, or you may be achieving ground and center without recognizing it. If this happens, do something else and try again later. Ground and center is a skill like any other and gets easier with practice. Practice makes perfect. And so basically I'll go over some guidelines, and I have a couple means some means of grounding as also a nice little activity as well that you can also try out as kind of your means of homework. And then I did find a nice little grounding exercise that's different from ours, which, by the way, that was not easy to find, that we also can do out as well. So some guidelines. Grounding can be done at any time, any place, anywhere, and no one has to know. Use grounding when you're faced with a trigger, having a flashback, disassociation, having a substance craving, or when emotional pain goes above 6. So like if you have that meter of 0 to 10, if it goes above the 6, that might be a good time. Grounding puts a healthy distance between you and these negative feelings. Keep your eyes open, scan the room, and turn the light to stay in touch with the present. Rate your mood before and after the test to see if it worked. Before grounding, rate your level of emotional pain. 0 is alright, 10 is emotional pain. Then re-rate it afterwards. Has it gone down? No talking negative feelings or drill writing. That will distract you away from the negative. So when you're going to grounding, don't do it when, I don't know if I can do this. Feelings, not get in touch with them. Stay neutral. No judgments of good or bad. For example, the walls are blue. I dislike blue because it reminds me of depression. Simply say, walls are blue, and move on. Focus on the present, not the past, not the future. Note that grounding is not the same as relaxation training. Grounding is more active, focuses on distraction strategies, and is intended to help extreme negative feelings. It is to be believed to be more effective for PTSD than relaxation training. And then there's some ways to ground. Mental grounding. ways by using the mind, using your senses, make a list in your head, like puzzles in your head, maybe like counting to 50, for example. Physical grounding, ways to use your body, walking, eating, texting, exercising. Soothing grounding, ways to calm. Good example for that this morning. Okay, Lion, don't be nervous. It's the second time you've done it. You'll be fine. No worries here. I'll give you a good example. So here's some series of grounding techniques, and this comes courtesy of tinybuddha.com that I found this on. And these are 10 techniques that can help reconnect your body when you're feeling a little lost. 1. Change the bed sheets. This requires a significant amount of concentration, otherwise you end up with funny shapes of bed covers. Now, with that little bump in the bed. Not only that, the activity is a tactile experience. The sheets are clean, so they smell gorgeous, and if you use softener, the fabric is so great to handle. Nothing makes one happier than more down to earth than changing the sheets. I think I remember reading about 10, 20 years ago, and I think in a year's time, you run or walk about 4 miles worth of changing your bed sheets in a year. And it's a level of perfection until your certain cat decides to lay at the end of it and kind of.
Yeah. Our dogs are the case.
Dance and or sing. It's always good to have some good music to feel good. Good music, even one that you can't sing or at least hum to, gets one in the mood for relaxing and help come down from previously incalculable heights. I had that good example myself earlier this week when I noticed that The View had The Lion King on Broadway on there. I play that, so then what I do, I popped in my Lion King on Broadway soundtrack that I haven't listened to in a while, and it just got me in the mood. It got me away from the nervousness or what was been going on over the past few days. Another thing, bake.
You didn't make those.
Yes, I did.
Wasn't that the no-bake recipe, though?
It's boiling,
That's not baking.
but it's cooking.
It's in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen.
Hair split.
Yeah. And no, I do not mean the eating part of it. I mean the creation part of it. And good tip, don't cheat. And I don't mean the fact that if you want to make muffins, go out to Perkins and just buy theirs. Don't.
The cookbook that's got the yellow pages.
Well, I mean that don't get the ready mix. Get the ingredients, because that's what I did. Because I had the recipe, get the ingredients out. Because then you're putting your own injury in it, and you're focusing on it, because you're making sure you got the proper amounts, and you're doing the proper order. And it comes with the delicious results, of course. 4. Take a shower. A hot shower like this is necessary to get things off your skin. Not the mud and dirt I'm talking about, but bad thoughts, mad thoughts, misery, and stress. It's the perfect cure for this because it relaxes the tense muscles and literally washes it all off. Which it just seems a little appropriate when taking a bath is a means of cleansing. That shower is grounding because, of course, you're standing up when you're taking a shower. Walking barefoot. Shoes are great, but they really disconnect you from the earth beneath your feet. It's a weird comfort to feel the heat from the ground soaking up on your soles. It's almost like the earth is saying, "Hey, glad you made it back."
Or the ice.
Or the ice. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, wait until it warms up, because I don't want to get any message from anyone saying, "Hey, you made me walk outside, I got cold." No, wait until at least warms up before you do it. Gardening. Gardening helps one breathe and appreciate the natural world around yourself. Sometimes the physical value of getting your hands dirty in the garden makes one hunt down a patch of grass, lay face down, and give Earth a big old hug for being so wonderful. Of course, for me, it's like mowing the lawn, making sure that's all nice and tidy and all that. I make sure to hug the willow tree when I go past it. Taking a duvet day. I wonder what that means. Well, when you fully realize you haven't vanished from the face of reality and it's not going too well, try to retreat to duvet with chocolate. Or if you can't eat chocolate, some food you enjoy.
Duvet?
Duvet.
A couch?
U-V-E-T.
Is that what they use?
Yeah.
That's a couch.
Okay.
Couch day, yeah.
I'm just like, that's a pretty exotic word to use for that.
That's what was worded. But well, one thing that I'll do that I've done traditionally as well, that when I come from like the retreats, after I check up everything, when I get home after the long drive, I'll pop in a pizza and have a nice couple slices and relax.
It's the carbs.
It's the carbs, but it's just that's much like with chocolate. It's just a feeling of that oneness, the food that I enjoy, like after well done hard work. Break out the paints. The point of painting and sketching is grounding technique. You don't have to be great. Making anything with painting helps you ground in. Anything really artistic that you enjoy doing is a good counts for this. Moisturize. Much like with showering, cleaning your skin helps you fully connect with your body because you're helping open up those pores. And especially for us guys that shave, and we put that aftershave on, and
You're definitely there in the moment, right? Have a Macaulay Culkin moment.
Or like Homer Simpson when he does it and he goes, oh yeah. But yeah, it does. It helps you feel open doing that. And number 10, well, it was open for you to fill in. Since you saw the first 9, they give you good examples. But one final thought on this. What?
Connect with sex. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Text, oh yeah.
Tai Chi.
Yeah.
Working.
Well, yeah. Good examples. So one final thought, finding that having objects around or with keeps you grounded. Whenever you do something fun and relaxing, make sure you find that object. Whether it be a pebble or like good luck charm, find something you found like a gift shop. It helps you remind you of good times. Now, and I have handouts that have all this on here. And this came from didresearch.org. It's making a grounding box. I didn't know you could actually do this. But basically, you get a box or a basket. And you personalize and decorate it with construction paper, wrapping paper, ribbon, stickers, drawings, paint, photographs, glitter, sequins, or anything else that you like. And then basically what you do is keep a list of things in it. List of grounding techniques. List of positive affirmations and happy memories. A list of the contact information of trusted friends or family who are willing to help and support you. I think that's a good point because I've heard it also many times that, that if I came to talk to someone that fell down the dumps, it's like, I should have thought of, talking to you, but I didn't think of it. There's your idea right there. Small sensory objects such as scented candles, perfumes or lotions, hard candies or gums, soft fabrics, a stress ball, stuffed animal or stim toy, happy pictures of you and your friends, a CD with relaxing music or meditation tracks. Try to cover all the senses. A list of possible distractions such as books or read movies to watch. Or gamers, for us gamers. Small portable distractions such as a pack of playing cards, small game or a joke book. A list of comforting things to do such as taking a bubble bath, snuggling up in bed, or meditating. And a small journal or notebook. So, this is kind of the little assignment that I hope that you do. Either...
It's already got one.
Yeah. The stress box.
Oh, stress box.
He's already got one.
He does actually. It's for his mental health recovery. He had to have one.
I disagree a little bit with the distractions because that's getting you out of your body depending on your intention behind using it. Like if you are having a hard time and you get on your phone, that's not being here now. That's further putting you out of your body and out of your center. And so I kind of disagree with that a bit. But
unless you wanted that friend to come in person, maybe.
Sorry?
Well, you mean like distraction call on the phone, maybe if you wanted to talk to one of your friends?
No. I mean, like because one of the list of things to get centered or whatever was distract yourself.
Oh, for like books. Okay.
I'm like, distracting yourself isn't centering. That's just getting you further out of your center. But that said, like, I mean, if you're having like obsessive thoughts or something like that, obviously you need to use something to help you do that. Whether it's an affirmation, or whatever. But just having something that's a distraction, like a game, I don't think that that's necessarily.
Having PTSD, I can tell you that it does actually work. Because you get so caught up in the loop, you're so stuck on that wheel of gotta go. This is wrong. This is blowing up. This is gonna happen. My life is gonna explode, and then you're like, ooh, squirrel, and you focus in so much on that it calms the system.
No, I definitely
that's what I think that they were trying to explain it. It's like that's what it
And then you
means.
go back and you do the grounding after.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that I can get, but like
By itself, it doesn't
gets
make sense.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make any sense by itself. But yeah, if you do definitely have to get off the hamster wheel somehow.
Yeah.
But then you're not centered and grounded. But
No.
after you're off the hamster wheel,
But
Yeah.
I see what it means. It's just not explained very well. That you do need to distract yourself away from the obsessive stuff, and that helps calm you down enough to the point that you can actually go back and ground. Otherwise, you sit there and go, this inner peace. I got this is gonna go right in inner peace. I'm gonna actually gonna die. Okay, then and it doesn't work.
I can relate to that because I get every so often I run into like a patch of serious obsessive thoughts that I'm like, you can't leave your body, you can't leave your head, you can't get away from yourself. So it's like, how do you get off the crazy train? Yeah.
One good example I could give, and Joy was witness to this too, and a couple of times where I was pissed off, I popped in Grand Theft Auto. Because it got my anger out of my system, and then it allowed me to calm down. So yeah, maybe I apologize if I didn't word that properly, but it's just, like you said.
I think intention is huge behind that. Because like if you have the intention of, I'm going to do this, it's going to get me off the hamster wheel, and then as soon as I'm off the hamster wheel, then I can move into my grounding and centering practice, and really keeping it to keep it simple, sweetie, because sometimes it can be like so overwhelming. It's like, oh, make your bed, take a shower, like do these, but it's ultimately like, who are you and what works for you too. Is a lot of that self-knowledge. Like if sitting on the couch and eating pizza, you're eating that pizza, you're tasting it, you're really conscious in that moment. I mean, that's centeredness.
Yeah.
That's a great tool. Like that's definitely, and grounding. I mean, it's definitely grounding, like taking that sustenance in. So, but it definitely has to have, I would say myself, a large component of intention behind it and concentration.
And I think the purpose of the grounding box is to give you the ideas and inspiration. It doesn't say that go on a list of it. It's like, you could do this, and then ground. And then you at least have those options available instead of running it through your head like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Would you tell a little bit about what you have and why? So that other people get some ideas?
What I have in mind?
Yeah, some of the things.
Mine's more of a mental box at this point. I haven't put it together.
It goes in your pocket.
It goes in my pocket. I carry it on me all the time. So, like you said, there's something for all the senses. I keep a list, which has grown exponentially. Because part of my thing was that I was not confident in myself. And as you can see, I need to type it up again. This is the original. It's short of accomplishments. Why I should worry. It went from that little bitty list to this. And it was partially there. Of why I shouldn't worry about things like my health. So there's that. So that's kind of for the eyes. And I had been carrying them separately, but then I made this. This has got stones in it. So there's a bloodstone and there's a couple other things in there. So that's kind of touch base. This is also touch base. It's a little piece of felt. And it feels soft and smooth, and I probably need a new one because it's getting kind of ratty. I've been carrying it for a while, and it really does help. And for guys especially, it's not unusual for a guy to have a hand in his pocket, and it's something small, and you can just kind of run your fingers over it, and it brings you back to where your mind is at.
It's awesome. That's great. I mean, it's like literally a touchstone. To be like, okay, I am grounded, I'm centered, I am capable, I am here. Yeah.
And I've got a couple of songs that I know the lyrics enough that I can run them through my head.
Yeah, It's a wonderful example.
And if anybody wants fuzzy fabric, just come in the house. I've got lots I can give you.
Well, that's what I hope to be this nice little assignment for you all, is that if you decide to make your own grounding box, I would invite that if you take a picture of it and post it to our little group so we can see what they are. I'll try to get around to see if I can make my own too. It'd be kind of interesting to see what you all do, and if you come up with any other ideas of or means of grounding, be sure to post about it too. So, what if grounding doesn't work? Well, as mentioned, practice makes perfect. I mean, sometimes you don't get it on that first try. I well enough know about that stuff. And good advice to this, even if you don't need it, do it so that you know it by heart. Because, like practicing on anything else, once you get in the cycle of doing it, when you need it, then clicks. Practice faster. Speeding up the pace gets you focused on the outside world quickly. Try grounding for a long time, 20 to 30 minutes, and repeat it. Because for some people, it might have been that they tried it for like 5 minutes and it didn't work. You didn't give enough time for it. Try to notice whether you do better with physical or mental grounding, like the types I told you about. Create your own methods of grounding. Any method you make up may be worth much more than you need here that I mentioned, because it's your version. You put your own energy into it. Start grounding early into a negative mood cycle. Start when the substance craving just starts, or when you start having a flashback. It's like quicksand. Because once you are deeply into it, it's it's hard to fight it.
Suffocating.
Yeah. And sometimes you might need that outside force or outside help. Or when you start getting, you feel like you're starting to finally get it out to it, then ground it, so then you finally have that extra push to get out. So, now I have this 3 circles grounding technique I found. It was on wickedspirituality.com. It was not easy to find my own version that wasn't the tree base, but that's the most popular one that is out there. This can be done very, very quickly, or can be savored slowly for deeper grounding. And you use this grounding technique only in a natural setting, or perhaps a well-decorated indoor space with relative privacy. That's like what we do here. Because you're opening yourself up to everyone around you, be aware of who it is around you, and might not wish to completely open your energy field to. Now, ideally, this takes place with the 4 elements around you: earth, air, fire, and water. Now, this is what the Wicked Spirituality version does. I mean, your own version could also add spirit as well. For this grounding technique, they don't necessarily have to be the appropriate direction. Of course, we always do it in the appropriate direction. But this grounding can officially cast the circle and welcome the directions. So, what I want everyone to do is start standing up and face north and being right where you're at. Now, what we'll do is we're going to slowly turn also clockwise to right and observe everything around you. Start turning. Notice each element. Use as many senses as you can to experience them. Make our way back to face north. To complete the circle, once you reach to your starting point by seeing the infinite reaches of space, the stars above you, and the depth of the earth mother below you. Feel that you're seeing everything around you, and state during this first circle, "For all I see." I'll say it.
For all I see.
Now, continue coming back to north, continue turning slowly. With the circle, notice how everything you see is also aware of you. The universe is watching you, just as you are watching it. Go through all the directions, all the elements. Again, concluding with the sky and earth. And state during the second circle, "For all that sees me."
For all that sees me.
Now we start circling the third circle, still turning. Feel how you're a part of everything you see. There is no real separation. You're one with it all. When you conclude, as the earth below you, pause for a moment and let this feeling settle in you. Or no. What? No. Feel you're part of everything you see. There is no real separation. You are one with it all. And state during this third circle, for all I am part of.
For all I am part of.
When you conclude, as the earth below you, pause for a moment and let this feeling settle into you. Now, let's say for the sake of argument, we did everything. Now we're going to open the circle. If you cast the circle this way, you can open it by the circles in reverse. Start with the last, work back in the first decoration. As you turn circles wishings clockwise to the left, you're doing the undoing direction. Counterclockwise, yes. At the end, it is helpful to touch the earth and offer thanks. And this gives full closure to the circle. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
And this is a very simple.
I like that one.
I like that.
That's it now.
So it's for all that I see, for all that sees me.
All I'm part of.
Yep, part of. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so stealing it. Hashtag stolen.
Me too. It's a really nice one to do outside.
Well, it's on the handout, so you'll have a copy of that.
Cool.
So, was there any questions, comments, concerns?
I think just when it comes to grounding and centering, don't get caught up on making it hard.
Yeah.
Or saying I can't do it unless I do it that way. Like, let yourself to be flexible. Use what you have at hand. You practice it daily, because the more you practice it, the more available it is to you in those times of stress when you really need it. And you don't have time to be like taking 20 minutes to ground. You've got to do it.
You gotta do it
in a breath.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And realize you can do it any place, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
With an object, without an object, whatever works.
Follow your breath, or have a stone in your pocket, or whatever.
'Cause that's-
simple thing works for you.
That's what I do too, is I have a stone in my wallet too. I think that's the thing that I've always learned up when I first started into it. It was the problem I was doing was I was focused too hard. I was hoping, it was like my mind, I was hoping, expecting it to happen. But in my case, it was more of, if I just open it up, it happens. And I realized, oh,
Don't make it complicated.
don't make it complicated.
Don't get in your own mind.
Don't make it too hard it needs to be.
I know for me, one of the things I even do is become aware of my posture. So, like, if I am standing with a lifted chest, which opens up all of your airways, then I know if I'm in that state that I'm centered, because you have to think about it. And so I just check in with that like many times a day, and it's something that you don't need any props for. Your breath and your posture.
Yeah, that's relying on something physical is something of a detriment, because I had my stitching for a long time, and the doctors and nurses tried to take it away from me, and I fought tooth and nail. And at the time, I didn't think about it as a grounding thing for me. It was just I needed it so that I could get through.
Or just glue into the sound.
Yep. Awesome.
Following you again.
Hey, it could be about me.
A lot of weird birds stare at him and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for me, I've been more of the mental state. I always keep like the mental journal in my head.
But yeah, bottom line, I think, like, if you have no props, if you have no thing, breath and posture, breath to center and posture to ground at the very least, and then everything else, do it as you can and whatever feels right, and keep it simple, sweetie, and do it every day as many times as you can.
Yeah. Well then, I guess that's a wrap. Thank you everyone for having me host again. Yay.